Be in front of change with KPMG in Singapore, only on Money FM 89.3.
Thanks for joining us on Money FM 89.3. Welcome to Be in Front, a special podcast series in partnership with KPMG in Singapore. In a world of rapid change and rising expectations, how can businesses stay ahead and lead with purpose? Through this 5-part series, we unpack the values and strategies that keep organizations not just prepared, but to be in front. We explore how KPMG in Singapore is helping to shape a future-ready ecosystem, from nurturing global talent to building trust, accelerating innovation, and delivering impact that goes beyond the bottom line. This week, we explore the value of people, how they enable businesses to anticipate future trends, navigate complex challenges, and ultimately maintain a competitive edge. And joining us is Shelley Chan, partner of People, Performance and Culture at KPMG in Singapore. Shelley, thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
Very well, Ryan. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here today.
Shelley is also an audit partner at KPMG with more than 24 years of experience in the profession. She worked at KPMG in the UK before joining the Singapore firm in 2011. Her own journey from Edinburgh to Singapore across audit and people leadership reflects the mindset she champions, saying yes to opportunities to build agility and putting people at the center of transformation. Now, let's start first by defining people. What does it mean to you in the context of your work with clients and teams?
Well, I think people are our greatest assets. When we look after our people, I think they in turn will look after our clients and the teams that are working for them. So essentially, they will go that extra mile for you, not because you asked, but because you have built trust with them. And how do you build trust? I think it's doing a few things consistently, which is underpinned by our values. And they are integrity, excellence, courage, together for better.
And when we talk about today's fast-changing world, why is it important for talent to embrace opportunities outside their comfort zone?
Maybe we'll start with the comfort zone. I think comfort zone is a space we already know. And I think in today's ever-changing market, we must choose curiosity over certainty. While it seems uncomfortable to take on unfamiliar role or experience, the reality is that we get very few and sometimes only one opportunity to try it. And when we encourage our talent to take up these opportunities, we empower them to build resilience, learn new perspectives, both professionally and personally as well. And I think this is especially important as industries and markets around the world are rapidly changing. And I think talent who are agile and are unafraid of change are highly sought after. So at KPMG, our global talent network exposes our people to diverse experiences through secondments and tailored exchange programs. These programs ensure that our people can always contribute to talent ecosystems abroad and transfer new skills and knowledge back to the Singapore business.
Kind of testimony to what you're talking about, because you grew up in the UK and you made a move from KPMG in Edinburgh to Singapore without ever having set foot here before. And that sounds like a pretty huge leap. What did that experience teach you about adaptability, and how has it influenced how you approach the global talent strategy at KPMG?
So I've always wanted to do global mobility. So my family moved to the UK when I was quite young. So I look Asian, but that connection back to Asia was somewhat remote. So I've always wanted to do global mobility. So in terms of the first obstacle, wanting to learn and try something different, I didn't have that because I knew I wanted to do it. Obstacle number 2 is finding the right time. And there is no such thing as finding the right time. For me, it was more, don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it, just do it. So for me, the agility bit was very important. And I think adaptability is a state of the mind. And again, what I chose was curiosity over certainty. So that leap from Edinburgh to Singapore took me back to basics. I had to be more deliberate in terms of building new relationships, both inside and outside of work. Had to learn to be humble and curious at the same time, so then I can learn new things quickly and adapt quickly as well. And for me, these are the benefits of global mobility. That's why it's important that we want to develop our talent with that mindset. And in today's world where you need them to be well-rounded, multidisciplinary perspective as well, that doing global mobility will give them the skills to be able to achieve that. True global mobility is more than relocation. It's about perspective, exposure, learning and transformation.
There's always this idea that you need more experience, trying out new things is great, but how do you balance that? Giving young professionals the breadth of experience while still ensuring the depth of expertise in their eventual specialization?
I think it's a great question. I think over the years, I've had the privilege of attending Careers Day at KPMG. And one of the things that I've learned is we really need to listen to what our graduates are asking for. And time again, I had conversations with them where they said, actually, I like the idea of joining a Big Four, but I don't want to specialize. It's too soon after graduation. I've never worked, so I can't possibly decide what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I want a firm that gives me that exposure. A few of the partners, including myself, got together and said, we really need to come up with a program that can target this particular group of talents. So a shout out to my fellow partners, Mark and Grace, because the Explore program was born at the back of that. And that was something that we launched last year. And the Explore program is a 2-year program, and it allows rotation across audit, tax, and advisory. And why we've decided to do that is it fulfills 3 objectives. One is it promotes the development of business acumen from early career because they get to see the breadth. I think secondly, it's create the platform for curiosity. Now, I talked about being curious is important. And when you work across different teams, different projects, and different disciplines, it forces you to learn quickly and adapt quickly. So that curiosity is built from an early career. Now, last point is on your question around specialization. A lot of the repetitive tasks are now being automated, which means that for our young professionals, they do get to do value-added work, things that normally maybe an experienced professional would get to do. So because of the way that the profession is evolving and the adoption of tech, etc., it does allow for them to specialize a lot earlier whilst gaining that breadth and developing that curiosity. So from my perspective, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's all about connecting the dots sometimes, so you need that breadth of exposure and also striking the right balance.
I believe that when we put people at the center of everything we do, and when we look after their interest, whatever decision that we make will be the right ones. So we have a few avenues to do that. Our annual Global People Survey gives us insights on the things that we have done well and things that we need to improve. We also have the Next Generation Board. This is made up of young professionals who have direct access to our senior management to provide ground-up feedback and propose initiatives. So one of the good initiatives that came out was the Blue Sky Friday. Now, this is about giving employees dedicated time to focus on well-being, creativity, and personal development. And it happens on the last Friday of every month from 3 p.m. onwards. So the teams have the opportunity to, if there are learnings they want to do, so they can do that. If they want to do team bonding events, they can do that as well. Or if they just want to, attend a yoga class to help with their well-being, they can do that as well.
Uncover opportunities, harness innovation, and transform your business to thrive in a world of constant change. Visit kpmg.com.sg.
Okay, so let's talk about today's tight talent market where many professionals are prioritizing purpose and personal growth. How is KPMG ensuring that employees feel both challenged and supported so that they can look back and say, hey, this was the best experience I've ever had?
Yeah, so one of the things that I often say to my mentees as part of our year-end discussion is, have you updated your CV? Now, the reason why I say that is not to encourage them to look for another job, but it's really to give them time and space to reflect on the year that has passed. What have been new projects they've worked on, new skills, new experiences, or new hobbies? Because our lives are so busy, we never get to stop and reflect. And I think that's quite important. So I often get my teams to do that. And then I ask them, are you happy with what you've done in the past year? And some of them will be saying, yeah, delighted, I've done all these things. Some will say, yes, I've achieved a lot from a work perspective, but all those personal goals around, running a 5K or passing my driving test, haven't had a chance to do so. So that often forms a good base for the goal discussion for coming forward in the coming year. And it's not just about goals that you achieve at work, but it's goals that you achieved on a personal level. And it's exactly the question that you asked me, which is I want every employee in the organization to look back at their time at KPMG and say that is the best years of my life. And it's because we haven't just helped them professionally, but in terms of their personal accomplishment, we've also helped them to achieve that. I think the workforce today values purpose and impact. And that means that we need to move beyond a one-size-fits-all type of approach. I think leaders must recognize that every individual has different aspirations and needs. So firstly, they must lead with purpose. I think talent follows meaning, not just money. It's also important to be transparent about growth paths and opportunities as well. I think leaders must create cultures where employees can feel like they belong.
Sound advice. And on a personal note, what habits or practices help you stay agile and people-focused in your own leadership?
My top 2 habits are, 1, I do reflect daily. What did I learn today? And are there things that I can do better? I think secondly, it's also important that I surround myself with people who have different views, with different perspectives as well. I think I'm quite lucky that most of my meetings are rather lively with a lot of perspectives. And I thank my team for that because our lively discussions allowed different views to be shared and also means that you get to hear other viewpoints. So I think all of that is important. For me, it's also okay to say, I don't know, and I guess say sorry if I've made a mistake as well. I think all of that keeps me grounded and people-focused.
Well, staying ahead means seeing beyond today. Be ready for what's next and be in front of change with KPMG in Singapore. And we have been in conversation with Shelley Chan. She's partner for people, performance and culture at KPMG in Singapore. Thanks for your time today, Shelley.
Thank you.
Be in front of change with KPMG in Singapore, only on Money FM 89.3.
Money FM 89.3